There is a new development on the kidnap of a missing boy, a missing 1-year-old boy in Akure, in a church owned by a pastor called Alpha Sotitobire. The name of the church is Sotitobire, and it's called Prophet Alpha. That is what it's called. Now, this has brought a lot of issues as the church itself was set ablaze, and angry people went down to the house of the prophet and they set it ablaze. I mean, they destroyed his house but set the church ablaze. Ever since then, the police have decided to wade into this by arresting the prophet. He is still in detention right there in Akure, Ondo State. Now, the mother of this young boy claimed that she was, it's going to be worse now because the church is not existent any longer and there's nobody worshiping there. She was a member of that church. And on that very sad day, she was in church and she kept the little boy in the children's section of the church because they claimed that children would disturb the adults in the adult section. And she went once in a while to check the boy. That is just a 1-year-old boy, as she claimed. And somehow when she went back, after she claimed that the prophet said that they should do a prayer of 30 minutes and no one should open their eyes, and if they open their eyes, they will not see the next year. And she was afraid of that. You know, most people go to prophetic church. And afterwards, the prayer finished and she went back to look for her child. I mean, take the boy home. And that is when the whole thing changed. The story changed. The boy could not be found. And she claimed that some, children carers and minders that were there, so some of them weren't there. And they told her that they went to throw away the bin. And she's like, how can everybody go to throw away the bin? Well, so the story that surrounds all of this is so much shrouded in mystery. Now, this prophet is supposed to be a person that sees vision and prophesies. So the lady said, we asked him to look into the realm of the spirit and consult and confirm what is really happening. Where is the boy? Is he kidnapped? Is he being killed and all of that? But she started saying some words like the prophet came after a while. After a while, he wasn't bothered again. He said, don't worry, the child will come. Then after a while, the prophet started telling the husband of this woman, the father of the missing boy, and said, oh, it shouldn't have been you. Oh, it's your child. It shouldn't have been you. So she felt that there are a lot of mysteries surrounding that singular sentence, that single word sentence that the pastor kept saying. Probably he knows much about this. Now, the question that begs to be answered is this. Is it that the child has been sold to a person that needs children? Maybe someone came to the pastor, or one of those very terrible people that they go to churches and hunt. They act like they are members of the church and they go to hunt for children that they go to sell or probably kidnap them for rituals or whatever it is. Now, a lot of stories out there is that the pastor buried the boy under the altar, although there aren't any evidence to show that this is happening, but people are very angry. Maybe they went somewhere else and they were told that the child has been buried under the altar or whatever it is. And this prophet claimed that he has not done anything. He claimed that he has not done anything. So now they say, finally, the kidnapper of the missing boy in Akure has been arrested. It's called AGK Chibuzo, Elike Chibuzo. He probably is from this name. That's an Igbo name. They said he's the suspect and is the one suspected to have abducted the 1-year-old boy, Gold Kolawole, and the Ondo State Police Command arrested him. Now, Kemi Filani, if you could, did an interview and with the pastor. Kolawole was abducted in November during a Sunday service. The interview and all of that, the discussions, we got to know more that happened. Now, they say the boy was abducted on a Sunday service, like I said, at the children's section of Sotitobire Praise Chapel at Oshinle area of Akure, the Ondo State capital. Thereafter, the founder of the church, Prophet Alpha Babatunde, that is his name, was arrested by the men of the Department of the State Services, although they claimed that the police, he bribed the police and all of that. Well, you know how things go. And that's why the police have not been able to do anything. Probably told them, I don't know about this thing. Somebody's trying to set me up, but you know, the normal thing, the police will always require some amount of money. But he said, if God be God, that this will definitely, that is what he's going to say anyway, even if it's involved in it. And if it's not involved in it, that is still the same thing he's going to say. Now, there are questions out there. People claim that if he's a prophet of God, if he can see visions, how come he cannot see in the realm of the spirit and see? And will God be punishing him, or God wants to make him shine by making him pass through this persecution and eventually come out superior and victorious? We don't know what this is, what these things are. Now, you know, the other time I did a video about this, I linked that with what happened at Synagogue Church of All Nations. Now, a lot of people died there. More than 300 souls left this world when they are coming to, you know, right there in church looking for help, looking for spiritual assistance. And many of them are foreigners from South Africa and the rest of those African countries. They all died, and that is it. Now, people say, did the prophet see this before it happened? Now, when I listened and I investigated a little bit, I realized that he claimed that he had a kind of vision or understanding or revelation or information, whatever, about all of this. But he did not act. Maybe he went to pray, or he couldn't tell the people not to come to church because he wasn't too sure when they would strike or not, and all of this. And what would he do in the realm of the spirit? So it's a very complex issue. As some claim that it's a lie, that he also used them for ritual, as they claim that many of these clerics, both Islamic, both Pentecostal, you know, prophetic churches and the rest of that many of them are shrouded in some kind of, you know, occultic practices. That's what they say. Now, I'm not trying to say that the SCOAN, Synagogue Church of All Nations, or this one, I'm not trying to say that they are involved, as investigations are still ongoing on Sotitobire Praise Chapel. Now, I just use that as a kind of connection because a lot of people die. A lot of questions are out there for people to kind of look into. So thereafter, the founder of the church, Prophet Alpha Babatunde, was arrested by the DSS and is currently standing trial at the magistrate court. The state police public relations officer, Mr. Femi Joseph, while confirming the arrest, said the 39-year-old suspect, who adopted Adamu as his name, claimed to have the baby in his custody in Akure. Also confirming the development, the counsel to Babatunde, Mr. Sholaoke, said the suspect was arrested in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, where he fled to. Now, that is Elike Chibuzo that adopted the name Adamu. Now, so this alleged that the counsel Babatunde, Mr. Sholaoke, said the suspect was arrested in Port Harcourt. Alleged that the suspect committed the offense to implicate Babatunde in the matter. He called on the police command to conduct a thorough investigation into this matter. Now, let us not just quickly jump into conclusion here, as there are some indications, or let's say opinions, that's the best word, some opinions out there saying that this is story, that probably he has paid a lot of money and they've looked for a fall guy. If you don't know what a fall guy is, it is when a high-profile-ish crime is committed and somebody has to go to jail because the world is looking and a lot of people are looking. Then they look for a fall guy that will go to jail for that person. They will rope in the person and say, don't worry, we'll take care of your family, be the person, or they just rope the person in. There are several cases and that we've seen where this happens. But then I'm not saying that is what it is, but there are, you know, opinions out there, people saying that they've looked for, they organized one hungry guy and they gave him money and claim that he's the kidnapper. But whatever it is, either he kidnapped the child or he didn't kidnap the child. The point is the child must be released. That is all. That's all we care about. We don't care if it's a lie, the prophet kidnapped the child, if someone because it's possible. There are cases of children that got missing in churches. Why? Because there are people, you know, church is a combination of a lot of very terrible people and good people and all of them together. They all come together in one place. So we have heard cases where people come, particularly some other pastors target, some other occultic people target churches. When they realize that the church is booming and things are working, then they said, okay, you know what? Let us throw a stone into this church by kidnapping a child, and we're going to make it a very huge story and act like the pastor is involved with this because this pastor, this prophet, or this evangelist is disturbing our satanic activities in this area. So don't let us get all these things mixed up and say, oh, the prophet is the one that did it, this and that and that. I know that as time goes on, we will actually see the truth of this. If he will be exonerated, if he will be vindicated, we will see all of these things, I believe that thorough investigation will go on. And if he is of God, God will definitely make sure that he comes out victorious after going all through this, and he will shine. But if he is not of God, if he is involved in this, then definitely his trials will be long. So right now, let us watch and pray and see that, as things go, and make sure that we also put this little boy into prayer, and also give ourselves a little bit of caution when we take our children to church. Don't let us just look at this as just a story. Let us also watch out whenever you take your children to church. Forget children's section. If you are a mother, sit with your children at the children's section. Don't let your children leave your side. If you are in the adult section, keep your children there. If the child makes noise, keep the child outside. Doesn't matter. Keep the child outside, or better still, stay in your house and pray and worship God there. There's nowhere that there is no God. They say wherever 2 or 3 are gathered, he said he is there, not necessarily church. So guys, that's what it is for now. If you are not a member of this channel, let us grow together by you tapping on the subscription button and the red notification icon bell below. It will alert you whenever videos are uploaded. And if you are already a member of this channel, I say a very big thank you for the support.